Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the Prop Spotter Suburb Deep Dives. Today we're focusing on what is probably my favorite city at the moment, great old Melbourne. And specifically, we're focusing on a suburb in northern Melbourne called Meadow Heights. Meadow Heights, what can I say about it? Let's start off with Meadow Heights to Crown Casino. 32 minutes away from the CBD, north of Melbourne, very central, very well located, and also about 15 minutes away from Melbourne Airport. It's been a bit of an unloved suburb over in the northern parts of Melbourne, very industrial area. Um, but now it's having its time in the sun. Uh, we'll talk a little bit more about it in a second, but I just wanted to call out that the entire northern Melbourne is having some magic at the moment, all the way through from Broadmeadows up to Craigieburn. Um, you're going to struggle to find a property at a fair price. But let's dig into it. Meadow Heights, current median price 678,000 with a rent of $500 per week for the average property. The yield is 3.8%. Um, we can see here on the graph trend, it's going up. 10 years ago, a house in Meadow Heights would have set you back $356,000. Today, it's $678,000. Um, so you ask, Sean, what do you like about Meadow Heights? Well, let me talk to you. Meadow Heights, 31% renter to owner ratio means it's desirable for owner occupiers. But more importantly, stock on market, 0.18%, ladies and gentlemen, 0.18% stock on market. And the days on market for each property is 26 days. What that basically means is from the time a property gets listed to the time it gets marked as sold is a whopping 26 days. Building and pest inspections have happened in that time. Cooling off periods have happened in that time. A ton of other stuff has happened in that time. Um, and so the market in Meadow Heights is getting hot. The average hold period also very strong at 11.8 years. That tells you that people who are buying here are buying here to live. They're seeing this as their forever home. Vacancy rate slightly higher than we'd like it at 2.5%, but I suspect that's because there's a lot of sketchy stock on the market. Um, Now you'll ask me, Sean, if it's that close to the airport, it probably is close to a runway. Well, I've done the research for you. Um, you will get some aircraft noise, but it ain't the end of the world. In Meadow Heights, it ain't the end of the world. Half the suburb is outside of the aircraft flight path, the other half is inside. Um, and it is only applicable to one runway. Now, what next? Let's have a look at the sold property prices. Sorry, I should have done this a little bit cleaner from the get-go. What's selling and why? $680,000 for a brick house on what looks to be 500 square meters of land in Meadow Heights. Needs a little bit of work to prepare it for a proper tenant, but otherwise workable. Can't comment too much on the photoshopped lawn, but that's a story for another day. What else do we have? 8 Dakara Close, 4 bedroom, 2 bathrooms, and 2 car spaces with 782 square meters of land, sold off market for 775,000. Guys, note that the median in this suburb 12 months ago was sitting at 550, right? 625, 41 El Dorado Crescent, Meadow Heights. Again, what looks to be a fair bit of Photoshop going on here. This tree doesn't seem to be sitting right, which susceptible red flags there, ladies and gentlemen. But have a look at the house. Looks solid on the inside, on the interior. Probably needs a bit of work done to get ready for tenants, but she'll do the job. $625,000. Let's have a look at it. One last one. 2 Coorong Court, Meadow Heights. $663,000 on the 2nd of August. Here you go. Beautifully nice looking house. Not a huge block of land. $663,000. Give me a second. Let me try and pull up a house I went to view last year at auction, 9 Huntley Court. I was there, present at the auction, April 27th, 2024, sold for $550,000. It reminds me very much of the property we just had a look at on Coorong Court. 547 square meters of land, pretty large living and dining space, updated modern kitchen, updated bathroom, and that sold for $550,000 this time last year. And we're now looking at 2 Coorong Court, Meadow Heights, about 15 months later, going for $663,000. That is a whopping 20% increase if we were to say both the properties are similar on a like-for-like basis. Now, ladies and gentlemen, that wraps up another Prop Spotter deep dive. Which suburb should I do next? Put it in the comments.